Pat. Thank you for moving this legislation and allowing me to be a part of it. You're exactly correct. We have this huge number of state and local law enforcement officers that are out there on the streets every day between us and disorder, trying to preserve safety and the lives of good and decent people in neighborhoods all throughout this country. And we're seeing an unprecedented surge of attacks upon them. We've had people misunderstand the role of police. The greatest change that we've seen in law enforcement, in my opinion, was a move to community-based policing, the kind of broken windows ideas that Rudy Giuliani in New York developed later, that had police officers in the communities talking with people on a daily basis and vulnerable at that moment. Vulnerable. If you're a wife or a child of a police officer and you know they're out there talking with dangerous people on a regular basis, you've got to be worried, will my father, my mother come home at night? So I just would want to say the front lines of the war to protect American people from crime and murder and death is the local, state, and local law enforcement. So, Pat, the idea that you came up with, that we need to make sure they're protected with the same punishment for federal prosecutions of people who attack or murder police officers, is good policy, right policy, and I think it's important. I would just add, however, that we're moving through a dangerous time. We'll talk about it more, I will, in the weeks to come, but crime has been declining. The murder rate in America is half what it was, but now we're seeing city after city with record murder rates, record surges in crime. We have 120 people a day die from drug overdoses. Addiction, and that goes with it, will also create more crime. And the last thing we need to do, and the last thing our minority communities want, is police to be harassed and leave their communities. Nothing would be more tragic for people, particularly in our minority neighborhoods, than have our police feel they're not supported. So I think this action is an action to say, we support you, we appreciate the good work you've done that have made our communities safe, and in this time of rising crime, we're going to be with you once again. Thank you, Pat, for what you've done.